person is no longer a threat. We don't know if that person acted alone. We don't know what the overall scope of this was. We don't know if multiple people were hit or the extent of former President Trump's injuries. All of this is still unclear. And this is happening as thoughts and prayers are pouring in from all across the aisle as well as the world. Benjamin Netanyahu has tweeted on X. He posted on X, "Sarah and I were shocked at the apparent attack on President Trump. We pray for his safety and speedy recovery." We also have new reporting here coming in from Ed O'Keefe. Ed, are you with me?
I am, Adriana. We
Go ahead,
conveyed that, and as we've been talking about this, it's important to point out that while this has happened in Pennsylvania, we wonder where was President Biden. We're told now he was in church. He normally goes to Mass on Saturday evenings, especially when he's in Delaware. He's at his Rehoboth Beach, Delaware home. Came out of Mass shortly after the incident occurred and has been briefed by his Homeland Security advisors, by the Homeland Security Secretary himself, in a briefing that included his Chief of Staff and other senior advisors. Let's point out again that the Secret Service has said in a statement.
So President Trump has been shot, but it looks like
in Pennsylvania they've implemented protective measures of the force.
Looks like he's going to be okay. Let's take a look at the video.
The Secret Service investigation and further information will be released when available. There are a large number of Secret Service, other federal, state, and local personnel.
Did he just get shot? He looks pretty defiant. He looks like he's ready to continue this this rally.
On Monday, we've got no word from
But they're like, nah, man, you got to get out of here.
Understandable, as they're still trying to sort out exactly what's going on. But there is a carefully choreographed schedule that is set to begin on Monday. The ATF is also helping the Secret Service with this situation. They're deployed here in Wisconsin along with other federal agencies, and we'll see if that makes any big changes to the security posture here. One thing we're waiting to hear about, Adriana, in addition to the condition of the former president, his whereabouts, is whether the president will have anything to say about this tonight. We know that the reporting pool that travels with him
so does anybody have any additional information? I mean, I guess the news would probably know more than anybody else about this at the moment.
While the former president is safe, lots of unanswered questions.
Anybody ever been to a Trump rally? Do you know if you can take your phone in? Can you record?
And his campaign may respond to this beyond the statements that are coming from Democrats.
I imagine there must be video
the concerns about violence
among the people of what happened.
The convention that is set to begin here Monday in Milwaukee. Adriana?
Set to begin on Monday, but we don't know if that now is going to change. There's so much that is up in the air. Will the convention begin as planned on Monday? What will be changes to security at that convention, at the Democratic National Convention in August? How is this changing the campaign, changing security? This at a time where emotions are running high on both sides in both of these campaigns. There's been plenty of scrutiny on former President Trump as well as President Biden. And yet they are still out front, trying to be as close as they can to the public, to rally support, to
let's take a look as she talks. We're going to take a look and see what they're saying on Twitter.
To the American people that this is a historic moment. We are told, as you heard Ed said, that the president is being briefed.
Okay, so number one trending is staged.
We're also told that he's speaking to
Put on my glasses.
the Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, to get a sense of what has happened. Trump. We are told that former President Trump is safe, but we don't know exactly where he is or what his condition is. We're told that he has been seen by a medical professional, and his team issued a statement themselves explaining that the president thanks law enforcement and first responders.
I'm going to see if I can find a video in case anybody watching this has not seen. All right, so I'm gonna take this down, and I'm just gonna play the video of what just happened. Listen to the sounds.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over, and look what happened to our country.
It's gonna be like some pops.
20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Notice he grabs his neck. Okay, let's go back. Watch, he's gonna grab his neck like this, or maybe on this side. He's gonna grab his neck or his ear, actually. I think it's his ear. But what was that sound, though?
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
How many shots? How many sounds?
Take a look at what happened.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 7 or 8. CC22, is he really shot? It appears so. There's another one. There's another pop. Yeah, it definitely appears he got. Look at him. Take a look at this picture. Look at his ear. So it doesn't. He definitely did not get killed. One. And he didn't seem to get seriously wounded. Two. But something struck him here, up in the ear. You can see there's blood. I think that's clear. You can see there's blood on his face. Yeah, it does look like he got grazed or he got hit with something that wasn't that big. So we were in the car. Somehow, I don't know. I'm on Twitter too often. I'm on Twitter too much, I guess. Checking to see if there's any YSL news coming out on a Saturday evening, and I saw this probably about 10 minutes after it popped up. And so I had a theory. One, that it's going to come out that it was not a rifle. I don't think it's going to be a rifle. And the reason why, my wife and I were talking about this, rifle would be more difficult to smuggle in. One, rifle would be more powerful, so if it hit you, it would do more damage. Two, rifle would be harder to aim. If you're around people, it'd be harder for you to actually get it up and do the whole. I would imagine people would be more likely to just hop on you if they saw you doing something like that with a rifle. So I don't think it was a rifle. Why do you think the shooter used a 22? Dan, I didn't say I think the shooter used a 22. I'm just saying I think the shooter probably used some kind of handgun or something handheld. I don't think it was a rifle. So, So I definitely don't think it was a rifle. That's number one. If you get shot with a rifle, yeah, and another thing, rifles are more accurate. So anybody shooting a rifle, it would be more likely you would actually hit your target. So reasons I would say it's probably not a rifle. Harder to get into the venue, harder to pull out and aim with people around you. Bigger bullets means that you'll do more damage. And also they're more accurate, which means when you do more damage, you're going to do more damage also because you're going to be more likely to hit exactly what you want to hit. So I'm saying I don't think it's going to be a rifle. 22 pistol, they said that sounds like it would be about right. Pistol, lower caliber, something easier to conceal, something easier to sneak in. Something easier to pull out on the fly and just kind of start popping off. So definitely my first thought is going to be some kind of handheld, I'm only saying, handheld device because, sometimes it comes out it's not actually a gun. It's some kind of handmade thing or whatever. But yeah, let's see here. He probably paid them. Yeah, people are saying staged. Y'all, come on now. I mean, listen. If he got shot with a 22, you'd have to have some real cojones. I'm going to use that word. Please don't be offended. You have to have some cojones to say, hey, pull this 22 out and shoot me in the ear from way over there with all these people. Because, what if you miss? That could still hit you in the eye. It could, he could still kill you. He could hit you in the throat. Yeah, they are saying, let's go back to the live coverage. They are saying source is gunman neutralized by Secret Service. Look at his ear. Look at his ear.
Olivia Rinaldi and Jake Rosen sorted out. Jake Rosen spoke to an emergency room physician who saw a man shot in the head with brain matter on the ground.
Oh my gosh.
An ER physician performed.
So other people got, y'all, we haven't even been thinking about other people who might have got hit. They saying somebody might have got killed here. Y'all, this wasn't staged. This wasn't staged, y'all. They just said somebody might have got killed.
Camera after the incident saw blood coming from Trump's ear and some.
Nah, this isn't staged, y'all. I mean, unless this is like the most craziest staged thing in history. Because they just said somebody got shot. Somebody else got shot with part of their brain on the ground. That means they probably did.
Hit the ground when a
So,
popping sound occurred.
no, I don't think this is staged.
There was a popping sound. The press was under
It's scary, y'all. Let's be real, y'all. Let's be real. Let's be real. This is one of the scariest things that can happen, right? I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. This is one of the scariest things that can. I think we want to hope it's staged because we don't want to believe that this could really happen. I mean, let's be real, y'all. Somebody, you're gonna say, hey, why don't you pull this gun out during my rally and try to shoot me in the ear so that I'll bleed a little bit? Like, nah, man, nah.
Vice President Kamala Harris has also been briefed.
Nah, y'all. Trump's got big balls. He's more worried about his shoes. Check the audio. What audio? My audio?
She was also addressing crowds.
Dan, what audio are you talking about?
Rally, as was the First Lady. All of these figures out
Silk,
on the campaign
Silk Skin says he probably paid them to do it.
And this is happening, this political violence at a time when there is such tension in the country.
I don't think so.
People still are going out to support their candidates.
I don't think so.
Those risks,
too many risks. You risk that person saying you paid them. You risk that person. First of all, who would take money to do this? How much would you have to pay them because they know they're gonna? I mean, the crowd could beat them to death. You'd be like, yo, I'm not gonna do that in your crowd. They catch me, it's over for me.
This is a live investigation, and many questions will be asked
So,
in terms of what went wrong.
I'm gonna go back to Twitter, y'all. Wow.
Were they able to,
Y'all can hear her talking. We're gonna look at Twitter, see what Twitter's saying.
We still don't know. It's still early.
See what
just getting initial
they compared him to Teddy Roosevelt. Y'all know Teddy Roosevelt, the bull moose. Bull Moose got shot while he was campaigning, and he kept campaigning. I think he finished the speech, if I'm not mistaken. Trump didn't get to finish his speech, but he sure looked like he wanted to. He looked like he. This is what does make it look staged, though. I will admit. Let me turn this lady down a little bit. I will admit, though, this looks staged. It looks staged because if I just got shot, I might give a pump, but I'm not gonna. He looked like he want to stay. He like, nah, let me pump. I'm like, yo, no, somebody's shooting at me. Get me out of here. So I don't know. But the bull moose stayed when he got shot too. So maybe I'm just not a bull moose. Maybe I'm just not a bull moose. I knew somebody was recording. ATF, this is top. It better be top priority.
Countless rallies like this. And there's our Scott McFarlane under the bleachers.
Better be top priority. What would be more top priority than this? So yeah, y'all, I don't think this is staged, but I can understand when you see something like this happen. One, you don't want it to be real. I mean, I know a lot of people seriously distrust Trump, but come on, nobody wants to see something like this happen in your country. This is terrible. But when you see this, it does kind of look like, oh, so he kind of planned it so he can seem triumphant. Let's see.
George W. Bush, the former president, said, quote, Laura and I are grateful that President Trump is safe following the cowardly attack on his life, and we commend the men and women of the Secret Service for their speedy pursuit.
Y'all, I hate to, okay, nobody flame me for this, but if y'all are watching this You might remember when Takeoff got killed in Houston. And my OBS studio. Sorry, y'all. So y'all might remember Takeoff got killed in Houston. And it's like, you don't want anything like that to happen in your city, in your country, on your watch. Like, you, not saying that those people disliked him, but you don't want. Oh, come on, Diddy. Nah, man. Nah. That's not the way you take some. I mean, like somebody like Trump. This is an election. If the people don't want him, they vote. They can vote against him. They can work. They can fundraise. They can put their ideas out. That's not the way you want to win. That's not the way you want to win. Somebody shooting down from a rooftop. Let's listen.
Fired from an elevated position. Let's take a look at this video. It appears that we're seeing someone on a roof there. Potentially, this is someone who was outside the security perimeter. I'm going to bring in our reporter, Olivia Rinaldi.
Y'all don't tell me
what can you tell us
that there's an elevated position outside the security perimeter where you could fire a shot. Don't tell me that even exists. Because then it could have been a rifle.
We heard successive loud noises, loud bangs that were playing. It sounded like shots immediately took cover.
Y'all, I think so. I think.
Recording, you can hear my voice there, pretty shaky. You can start to hear Secret Service also.
I think.
Trying to get him down on the ground.
I was under the assumption that the person who did this was in the crowd. I couldn't imagine that there's like, hey, there's that high up location over there. Let's not secure it outside of our security perimeter. I wouldn't even imagine that would exist. So, y'all forgive me, but I'm gonna ask you to hit the like. I don't want to seem like I'm making light of a situation, but please do hit the like, y'all. If y'all aren't subscribed, please subscribe. Okay, our channel's growing. We're trying to bring y'all. Typically, we're talking about legal news, but this seemed like a good time to go live. Is that a person right there? Is that a human? If that's a human, that person must be dead, y'all, or down, because these people wouldn't be standing around watching somebody with a gun.
I was just at one in Doral, Florida. It's the unimaginable, but it's something we prepare for, and it's something that, as Margaret was saying, security personnel prepare for.
But they said somebody in the crowd was on the ground with, apparently shot, I guess, with their head no longer intact. So, all right, y'all, I'm gonna go back to Twitter. I'm gonna try not to stream too much of this.
Exactly, and on
we'll still be able to hear it though.
Foreign and domestic, but I wanted to underscore and come back to.
All right, let's go and see.
This wasn't unexpected.
Is there any information we can glean from Twitter?
I wanted to go to the specific language that was in a report our Pat Milton put out earlier today. She obtained the joint threat assessment that was in preparation for the RNC that's just about to get underway in Milwaukee, that large Republican gathering. And at that time, law enforcement said no credible specific threats were identified at the time in the assessment, but there was a warning that the RNC could be viewed as an attractive target due to the symbolic nature of the political convention. So
I'm not going to co-sign that I think Trump automatically wins for this. I'm not going to co-sign that.
Are concentrated right now. The Secret Service was with
right ear grazed. But I'm not going to co-sign that I think he automatically wins because of this. This is traumatic, y'all. He just got shot. I mean, he didn't get shot. Looks like he didn't suffer a lot of physical damage, but we don't know. We don't know what tomorrow brings for Trump. I mean, he's going to continue to run, I imagine, but we don't know what his psychological state or his campaigning schedule or anything's going to look like. How do you get back out there after this? I'm just saying, like, we don't know what's coming next. So I would certainly not say he automatically wins. Trina Tina says, I hope not. Y'all know what I said to my wife? Joe Biden is now in the unenviable position of having to offer heartfelt, it's not condolences, but like a heartfelt and sincere get well, etc. to Trump. Like Joe Biden has to he has to comfort Trump, and Trump, you know, I don't know what the exact word is, but I think y'all know what I'm saying. Like Joe Biden has to say, well, hope he gets well soon, and so on, you know, all of that stuff. So let's see.
Scott, if you can hear me, go ahead.
What am I doing? Can you dial into that same number?
We've lost Scott McFarland, but I'll bring it back.
Do y'all want to stick with CBS? Y'all want to go to another channel?
For anyone joining us now, shots have rung out at a rally in Butler County, Pennsylvania, where President
Dan says the shooter was in the stands and they dragged him out. Dan, you mean they being the crowd, or do you mean the security forces, or both? Because what I said is, if somebody stood up and started shooting, I would imagine whoever's next to them or somebody close would have tried to tackle them or whatever, in a Trump crowd especially. But that person got off a bunch of shots, though. No, they got off a bunch of shots. They got off about 7-8 shots. Dan, who is it that dragged them out? The cops. Okay. How did they let him do? This is the part that I don't get, y'all. How did they? What was this? What is this? Because if somebody's shooting at him, they have a clear shot from this angle. Maybe that's just protocol. Maybe it's just some kind of maneuver that they practice.
Scott McFarland has been doing exemplary work along with our team on the ground. Since he can't join us just now at the moment, to reiterate,
Unita says anybody but Fox News. We'll stick with CBS.
Between 8 to 10 explosions, popping sounds. He saw the crowd duck. He hit the ground when he was sitting under the bleachers. He heard this popping sound. The press was under the risers, most of them around that area, very close to the stage. They witnessed the Secret Service swarm to the left of Trump following the incident, climbed on top of the former president. Then they saw helicopters come by a few minutes later.
Y'all hit the like, please.
Toward a motorcade. Helicopters arrive in some
If you haven't hit the like, please do. If you haven't subscribed, please do.
Just to underscore what we know, this is an active crime scene. They were setting up tapes still, talking to bystanders, witnesses, blood seen on the bleachers, blood seen on the T-shirts and pants of those leaving this rally, people being escorted. Jake Rosen spoke to an emergency room physician who was there, who says he saw a man who he believes was shot in the head.
And Bob, we have that video. Let's play it right now.
I heard the shots.
Oh, look at this guy's bloody. That's not Trump's blood.
I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There's lots of blood, and he had brain matter there. And so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. I got people there really helpful. I got
was there only one person shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person. And then we have an eyewitness account from a man who says he is an emergency room doctor and rushed in to help a victim who had a gunshot wound to the head. We are also
Y'all, this is a real gun.
Associated Press reporting
It's
that
no
the
BB
shooter
gun.
is dead.
Shooter's dead.
From our affiliate.
KDKA.
Our affiliate KDKA, that the Butler County District Attorney told our political reporter John Delano that 2 people are dead.
Two people are dead, y'all.
And an audience member.
Check that out.
The suspect we referenced as already being neutralized. Add to that an audience.
Y'all, this is gonna be gonna be big. This is terrible. This wasn't. This was this.
Lost his life.
Now it's real. I mean, it was real, but 2 people died, y'all.
Who were potentially injured beyond Trump.
Yeah.
That's right. We have people on the ground, as you can
They
imagine.
just said the shooter's
We're all
dead
trying
and
to get
somebody
in
from the
contact
crowd
with
is
our
dead.
reporters. Either because
This
there's
is
so many phone calls being
this is
placed or
big,
because
y'all.
of security
This is
protocols.
big.
It's hard
This
to get
is
signals out there. They're
this is
struggling. A lot of us
big.
who see us texting because that is frankly easier than
This is
getting people
big,
on the
y'all.
phone.
Because
But
people
there
were saying
are,
BB
a
gun,
lot
you
of
know,
people who
because Trump just didn't look like he
went to
got
that
hurt. You know what I
rally
mean?
there
This wasn't staged either.
To go
Like,
into a rally
no,
like that, you go through levels
it's
of
not
screening.
staged.
I would assume that that is at a distance from the rally. That was not someone who was in the confines of the area where the rally was taking place. We don't know that yet. We need to get that kind of context from law enforcement. But I imagine that's why our
Dan, how do you know this stuff about the guy getting dragged out? Is there some kind of media that we can put on or something to watch that? Because I haven't seen any of that on here. Is that on Twitter? Where can we see that, Dan?
Where do you think this investigation is right now? What are officials on the ground doing?
Yeah, find it. If you can place a link here, I'd appreciate it. We're gonna play that. I'd like to see this guy getting dragged out.
We may have lost Sam.
Diddy says guy didn't get dragged out. Dan said he got dragged. So we're gonna see if we can get a link.
KDKA political reporter John Dello, two people who were at this rally are dead. That includes the shooter.
Y'all, two people are dead right now, y'all.
Former President Trump
like,
to have been grazed in some way by a firearm.
That mean this person was like really.
How many other injuries there?
I mean, it was.
Jake Rosen and Olivia Rinaldi. Jake Rosen has provided.
Sorry, it's like really sinking in now that people are dead. It's like,
signs of
you know what I mean?
Injured or being near people with apparent injuries, blood on their shirts, blood on their clothing.
Who, me? No Diddy?
Supporters attending the rally.
Did I say something bad?
Pennsylvania. Former President Trump is reportedly in a safe space, according to his campaign.
So you mean to tell me somebody was there shooting? Like, who took that picture?
I believe we
oh my
showed
gosh!
that rooftop
Who took that photo?
Reporting we had that this was from a distance and an elevated shot.
This is wild,
y'all. In the environment we are in, it is not difficult to get a weapon that you can get through a metal detector. Not all weapons, as we talk about those 3D printed guns and other weapons necessarily will be detected. And so we should give that caveat. But that rooftop we keep showing, I'd love to get more detail or context to that.
And no security is 100% tight. We go to these events, supporters go to support their candidates, politicians who put themselves in front of crowds.
Just trying to see.
I feel most people probably attract.
So, is that a body? Where? Let me see. Let's go back. Sorry. Gotta add. I didn't see a body. Okay. Let's see. Trump is safe. So Trump is safe. Looks like he got grazed in the ear. Not staged. Two people are dead, including somebody from the crowd, apparently, and the shooter, apparently. So real gun, apparently. Trump got shot. I mean, he didn't get shot. He didn't get hit. Very direct. He didn't get a direct hit, but he got shot. When they keep showing, yeah. So Albert, so Dan's saying that he saw them. He saw some kind of video with people dragging this person out of the crowd, but then they're showing like a rooftop of some kind of structure, which looks like it has a body on top of it or something, with people standing around looking up there. But why would you? How could you not secure a rooftop that has actually a direct line of sight to where you're putting the stage? Like how does that not secure?
The shooter is now dead. The shooter is dead along with a participant in the rally, and that coincides with what I heard from one of the attendees on the record. Congressman Mike Kelly of Pennsylvania told me just a few minutes ago on the phone, it was mayhem. People were ducking down onto the ground. There was concern that many people...
The crowd initially ducked down. They didn't scatter. Nobody knew where the gunshots were coming from. So everybody ducked. They didn't scatter. But they did duck for sure. They just got down. All right, Dan, put the
I hear you just fine. It's Scott McFarland in Butler County.
Scott, go ahead. You're on the air. What is the latest that you're hearing, and what can you
Dan,
see
if you can't put a link there, tell me what to search, and I'll search it.
We're having some bad cell phone signals here. It's part of the response that we're also kind of pinned into a parking lot right now. Over the past hour, we've seen law enforcement and Secret Service just move people back further away from this scene. It's quite clearly an active investigative scene. I also noticed 2 helicopter landings, a minimum of 2, about 2 to 5 minutes after the former president was ushered off site or ushered off the stage. We know there are
okay, if you can't put the link, just tell me what to search on YouTube and I'll search it. And we'll take it. We'll go that way. I'll just do the search you did and see if I can find it.
Hundreds of people.
We can leave this one open to hear the audio. Just let me know what to search.
Sharing embraces and tears, and trying to watch what happens next. Even if
everybody hit the like, please.
And everybody we're talking to,
you know,
has a similar story to tell. That they may have mistook it for firecrackers. It was that type of quick pop and the same decibel and the same tone and tenor of a firecracker. But everybody recognized within short order.
Meet Kevin.
Gunfire, and they hit the ground. We spoke to a lady who was in the front row, just steps away from the former president, who also described seeing a teardrop-style form of blood on the side of his face and a little more around his ear. And she heard him say, "Gotta get my shoes," to Secret Service, she says, before the former president was ushered off.
All right, let's see what's going on with Meet Kevin. Probably going to play me.
The stage is to the right and to the left, and then there's, of course, people in behind.
29 minutes in. Let's see.
Behind him as well.
Yeah, so that's encouraging.
I don't even know.
Was tight. We don't know how this suspected shooter.
Let's see. We start
as
with 24 minutes in, hour 24. So we'll go to like 95.
And in the process, killed
55.
Somebody who was just there, and then this shooter is not.
Extremely quickly, in fractions in detail. I know them
Are we close?
extremely well. They are the most competent agents that the Secret Service has. They reacted perfectly. I trained with them. This is exactly what I trained with them on.
Are we close?
These types of events, and they reacted near flawlessly.
And they got him into that vehicle, and they're taking him away right now. The Secret Service saying that he is safe. This is dramatic.
The 2 people. It was the guy with the hat and now someone in front.
Andrew, a huge crowd like that, won't these people who are going to be especially getting close to the former
Stop
president
money farming.
Who is under constant
Say no Diddy if you
protection,
think this is hype.
What
do you mean by that?
So that they can
No Diddy if you think this is hype.
Yeah, well,
are we close? Dan, this is Meet Kevin. I can't really know 29 minutes in, but let me. I'm gonna fast forward. I'm gonna put it on.
Now, I can't
I'm gonna play it back at 1.5.
But the magnetometers are the only way to
Albert, you think he's trolling who? Dan or the Stop Money Farming guy? Stop Money Farming guy is trolling. Okay, is this it? Okay, here's the crowd. Here's the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, again, this could have been somebody further away too. Some folks are saying that based on the sound, that potentially a suppressor was used. I'll go back to the.
Okay, that's Trump in the middle.
Somewhat makes sense because it doesn't sound.
Okay, so this is Trump. This is the crowd. Okay, cool. Yeah.
You know, just loud enough for.
Hey, look, if I'm big enough to get trolls, that's good. Okay, so this is the crowd. Dan, are we?
That's why they missed. Essentially, or grazed them. But
29 minutes in. Okay, so we start off at an hour and. Okay, I don't know.
So, like.
Because this is an ongoing live, so I can't really know how far 29 minutes in is.
Towards these trees or this water tower over here, right? So it's almost like some kind of shot coming from over in this direction to where other bullets could potentially, land in the ground behind over here. The bullets had to have gone somewhere, but it doesn't. There's no report of any other injury. So it doesn't seem like it was from this direction.
He doesn't. He didn't know yet that there's another person
that
shot.
Multiple people. It looks more like a downstream shot from one of the sides, is what it seems like. Again, I'll play it right here.
Look what happened.
Hear that clink, 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 clink. It doesn't sound either close. Doesn't sound like it's closer than 100 yards, right? Something that, usually you start training kids on when it's like when you first introduce. And I hate saying that. Like, they would have had to have, it's.
That's them taking Trump.
It didn't work. He became more popular.
Okay, so here's Tucker Carlson, more Trump stuff.
Literally just happened. Yeah.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna go back to our CBS live coverage.
incendiary at
I
a
just
moment of incredible sensitivity.
Backwards.
To say something like that, to allege whatever they means. There's no context to who they are who are trying to keep them off the ballot, but they tried to put him in jail, and now you see this. Exactly. Those words have
So this is Trump
weight.
in the middle.
But if around this campaign has been about us versus the system, me versus them, that all the legal cases against Donald Trump he claims are politically motivated to prevent him from re-election.
This is Trump.
By alleging that there is a connection to this attempt on his life, it would escalate that. That is Pennsylvania State Police put out a statement. Adriana, if you want to.
I just don't see it.
Pennsylvania State Police.
Hour and 29.
We've been reporting.
But the problem is,
fired at former President Donald Trump today during his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania.
I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know because the whole stream is only an hour and 28 at this point. So I'm not sure what we're talking about. Plus, it seems like
that the president is safe.
Others.
But we also don't know what safe means. Safe could be a lot of things. We did see.
How come none of these other news channels are showing if they have video of somebody?
That he appeared to have some blood on the side of his face. We don't know exactly what happened, if he was grazed or if it was worse. There we have that picture. His ear there, the top of his ear is red. But like you said,
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it, man. I'm sorry.
The temperature. And
if it's out there, we'll see it at another time. Is this it?
Everyone is safe already.
No, that's Trump. I guess
went to this rally to support their guy is dead. That's the reporting that we're getting from our affiliate KDKA.
Plus, if I'm Meet Kevin and I see that, I'm showing that again.
Who that may have been.
All right, I'm gonna just stick with CBS for now, man. They'll have to show it. Yeah, they'll have to show it if it's out there. They'll have to show it. Plus, why isn't it on Twitter? Like, if they found this guy, Twitter would have this as a.
It's so true, and the tension in this country has been so high. There has been such a concern about domestic violence.
Musk is endorsing Trump. I don't know if that's a presidential endorsement.
Cooling tensions, cooling tempers is what you would hope leaders would do in this dangerous moment, because this, as you're alluding to there, these are passionate people who show up.
Yeah, I don't see anybody who's posting.
It's hot outside. They're standing there. They went through security. They are there because they love Donald Trump. And they are now being told by the head of his campaign that there is some kind of.
Let's take a moment to appreciate this hero for killing the shooter only seconds after. Okay, so Matt Wallace is saying this is the guy who shot the guy. Let's open this up.
Top Trump campaign official. I want to read to you what I'm getting text from some of our reporters on the ground who were saying. Olivia Rinaldi saying there was a palpable feeling of anger towards the media after this happened.
Okay.
The people in the crowd turned
the moment when
them.
Secret Service says shooter is down,
telling us it's our fault. It's
all
a
right,
very tense environment.
I'm gonna mute this lady. The moment that the Secret Service says shooter is down, let's listen. Let's see. Oh, I guess we can't hear it. Okay.
You ready? Are we good? Shooter's down. Are we good to move? Let's go.
Okay. There's gonna be some video of this guy getting shot, y'all. What's my Twitter? Send it to this one. Send it to my Paralegal Institute Twitter. Let me see. I don't have a lot of followers. Y'all can follow me on Twitter as well if you like. At Institute, INSTITUTE DC. At Institute DC. INSTITUTE Institute DC. If you send me something, Dan, I'll check it out. So yeah, there's gonna be video of this guy getting shot for sure.
Completely to get
100%.
Of harm's way. So all of that looks like it occurred in the way that it should have.
And you know, your former colleagues.
Is this the guy here?
For this, I mean, I've done reporting at
Or
their
is this the guy?
training facility here outside of Washington, where there is there's a site that's a replica of a city where they train in cars to see if there is an attack on the president. What do you do? Where do you go? How quickly do you respond? And what you describe shows that training kicking in. You see agents rushing the president off site. You see agents in plain clothes clearing the crowd. This is now a crime scene. We have video, cell phone video, showing someone who appears to be potentially the assailant, possibly on a roof. AT, talk to us about the security protocol when it comes to the area outside of perimeter and an open air event like this. You know, it's
who is that up on the top of the building?
People through metal detectors and log them down, but you can't control the sky. You can't control, you know, parts of these areas that are outside the perimeter. How does the Secret Service account for that?
If you're gonna send me a message, let me know.
The investigation probably will end up showing us, you know, how far away was this assailant. What sort of
Can I send a screenshot in the chat? So I haven't changed anything about my chat, y'all. So if it's not letting you put links and stuff.
There's an outer perimeter, a middle perimeter, and the innermost perimeter, which is closest to the protectee, the perimeter. So it will be interesting to see what the distances are here, and you know whether or not something nefarious occurred that they may yet have to get to the bottom of. But to your point, the Secret Service agents train constantly for this kind of an event at the Raleigh Training Center in Beltsville, Maryland. There's a mock town, there's mock motorcade.
My Twitter, INSTITUTE. So Institute DC, like Washington DC. Institute DC. That's my Twitter.
Limousine was to the stage. So part of that is the equation as well, to be able to not only.
Looks like Dan's going to send us a screenshot or something.
He may need immediately, which is probably why they stayed there a little longer than you would normally think. Instead of just grabbing him and rushing off stage, they wanted to make sure that anything they might do in that regard wouldn't further injure him. So they want to make sure that.
I want you to hold on the line for just 1 second, because we are getting word that President Biden has issued a statement. I want to go to Ed O'Keefe, who has that statement with him. Ed is in Milwaukee. Ed, go ahead.
Adriana, the president has issued a written statement saying, I have been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well.
All right, y'all.
For him and his family and for all those.
So I'm gonna wait for Dan to send me something. We'll see what Dan has.
Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. We must unite as one nation to condemn it. CBS News can also report that the president will be making a statement in person or on camera later tonight. It is unclear where exactly, but he is at his beach house.
Gonna wait for Dan to send me something.
And we're seeing word that the motorcade has left that house, so he may be going to a facility there in Rehoboth Beach that can be used for unexpected, unforeseen events like this, when he might have to make some kind of a statement. It's unclear, but we'll wait and hear. We should also point out there have been statements tonight, rare ones, from George W. Bush condemning this violence and saying that he too is relieved to hear that former President Trump is safe, and former President
the freaks are coming out of the woodwork.
Saying much the same.
What you mean by that, Dwayne? The freaks are coming out of the woodwork.
Making statements.
Be a little bit more specific.
In a situation this grave,
y'all, this is terrible, man.
The current president might
we can't dislike somebody so much that we want them to get killed.
And this attack on his political rival remains to be seen.
That's not cool.
It's going to be arguably one of the most challenging statements any sitting president's ever had to make at a time.
That not only because of Trump and politics, but this is our country, man. We have to take care of our own. We still don't even know who did this. We don't know why they did it.
As well as the Secret Service. The Secret Service,
you know,
of course, their security
my wife,
I want to bring
who by the way is not from this country. She's American now, but she wasn't born or raised in the United States. My wife is like, didn't Trump kill somebody from Iran? And I was like, oh yeah, he did. He killed their general, Soleimani. So like, she thought, I didn't think about that, but she, you know, my point is like, we don't know who did this or why. You know.
Well, if that does turn out to be the case, then obviously it would be someone with a very long-range rifle, similar to, you know, a deer rifle or something like that, with a long-range scope. So if, in fact, someone was in a place outside of that perimeter and were able to do that, it would have had to been quite a distance. Going back to what I said a moment ago, the normal security plan is going to involve 3 concentric rings of security, an outer, a middle, and an inner perimeter. If this person somehow made their way,
according to CNN,
to do this, that
can't find you on Twitter. Okay.
To try to determine what happened and why it happened, quite frankly.
Look here, Paralegal Institute DC. You see that? Institute at Institute DC. At Institute DC.
And have the precision that they may have had.
Let me see if I can put my Twitter.
We see some blood on the president's ear.
Let me see if I can put my. See if I can put a link.
Perimeter usually.
Hold on 1 second.
It really depends on the venue. If there's natural barriers between, you know, sort of the outskirts of the perimeter and a farther distance, and we're talking about, you know, natural obstructions, then that is going to.
It doesn't even let me. Oh, there we go. There's my Twitter link, yo. We don't use Twitter a lot. We barely use it.
And this person was in fact neutralized. There was a counter sniper team there.
You can use that. There it is.
Responsibility it is to be on the lookout, to constantly monitor these long-range potential threats. And if in fact that is the case, and that's what happened, and they did neutralize him, it sounds to me like
CNN are about as responsible as a chocolate fire guard. Reliable, excuse me. CNN are about as reliable as a chocolate fire guard. What is a chocolate fire guard? According to CNN, Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at... No, they didn't say he fell. Oh, no.
The hard-to-believe incident that is recently transpired. Former President Trump, while addressing a crowd of thousands in Butler,
I guess they just didn't. That's tough. That's they flubbed the biggest story in CNN's website. Maybe not live, but their website flubbed the biggest story in the last 5 years, 10 years maybe.
You heard those shots continue. We are being told that
Rachel Scott from ABC was there when it happened.
Has been killed, and
look what CNN says. Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at rally. So if you're unsure if he got shot, you would say former president shot. Former President Trump, possibly shot, possibly injured, possibly whatever. You know?
Shot in the head. We're going to slow this video down so you can see it in detail. The former president addressing crowds raises his right hand toward his ear and drops down toward the ground. It looks like he ducks down toward the ground.
Dwayne blames people like Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, and Rachel Maddow.
There he is.
There's been a lot of very difficult, incendiary rhetoric in this country. Do you think people will be more responsible now?
They just appeared out of nowhere. Scott McFarland was there and saw all of
You can't have a fire guard made from chocolate because it'll melt.
Bring us back to that moment when you heard that noise, what you thought, and what happened in this scene.
What are y'all?
It was uniquely jarring.
What are y'all saying?
That same sound of fireworks, that same tone, that same volume, that same rapidity, a series of about 8 to 10.
All right, were you able to send me the link, sir?
Something much more sinister than that. There would be no place for fireworks.
Okay. I thought we were going to get a link or something, but apparently not.
Facing the former president from above, and those of us on the rafters.
Apparently not.
To get beneath them, all kinds of equipment.
I blame people like Mitch McConnell. See, y'all already, both sides are, I shouldn't say both sides, I don't know y'all, but why, can we just blame the dude who tried to shoot Trump? I'm saying dude because I presume it was a man, but the person, the entity, can we just blame whoever it is responsible for trying to shoot Trump?
In paramilitary gear, rush as a unit.
You know? We don't know who did this yet. This could be a foreign actor. It could be a loco. When I say loco, I just mean somebody crazy. It could be. Definitely doesn't look like an accident. So.
They have stopped the departures from the scene. This is an active investigation. No doubt an active criminal investigation, and the crowd.
All right, I was waiting for some kind of something to my Twitter. Not getting anything. So y'all, I think this is where we stand, y'all. Trump has been shot, apparently. Trump has been shot. He, she didn't try. They did. Trump has been shot. The shooter is apparently dead. We don't know if that person was in the crowd or on top of a roof. We don't know if somebody was
like you said, that area now under lockdown. Anyone who is still
in the crowd or on a roof somewhere.
A very rural part of the one-lane road, as you said.
Another person, a bystander, is apparently dead as well.
Also show some video that our reporter Olivia Rinaldi, who follows
And our country is, I would say, in trouble at the moment. Most recent post on Twitter. I post on your post. Let's see. Alright, I'm checking my Twitter. I just don't see anything. No messages. My profile. And my computer's like.
Someone else who was there, Senate candidate David McCormick,
what the heck is this?
Republican candidate from Pennsylvania. Mr. McCormick, can
Oh,
you
this
hear
is.
me?
Oh, okay. This is not live.
Please describe what you saw.
Yeah, well, I was in the front row. President Trump was facing the audience, and I was to his right in the front
Frank De Silva says it's not any foreigner. Listen, my wife is a foreigner. Well, she's an American now, naturalized for a couple of years. That's what she said. You know, that's what she said. Didn't he kill somebody? Didn't he kill a general from another country? And he did. So that was her thought.
And it wasn't clear exactly where they were coming from. It felt like they were coming.
This proves that Dems have guns too. We don't know for sure who it was yet.
Mayhem. There was the Secret Service immediately knocked him down and jumped on top of him.
Y'all know that we might. I mean, this country was about a couple of inches away from the biggest tragedy in I don't know how long. Frank De Silva said it's not a foreigner. Okay, Frank, who was it then? Tell us who it was, since you have all the information. Because I'm certainly not saying that I think I know who it was, because I don't know who it was. But because I don't know who it was, I also don't know who it wasn't. Okay, except for, you know, I don't know the nationality, I don't know the gender, I don't know the age, I don't know anything. You know. So maybe Frank knows something, yo. Maybe Frank has the inside information.
Emergency care they needed, but it was obviously a very frightening moment. It was clear that.
All right, y'all. So CNN dropped the ball. It's not really a big story, though. It's a lot of a lot of chaos right now.
So you can imagine it was a crowd of 15,000 people.
Staged is trending. This wasn't staged. It did. I can see how you would think that at first. People are dead. It's not staged, so we don't have to continue with that.
You know, we just played video that showed that moment.
Antifa,
crowded down, and in this crowd of thousands,
Reagan, because Reagan got shot. John Wilkes Booth, because he's the one that shot Abraham Lincoln.
Of gunfire. People thought they were fireworks at first. Then it became clear that it was gunfire. From your vantage point, how far were you from the president?
So y'all,
and could you tell if he was grazed, perhaps? I know you said you're not sure if he took a direct hit, but describe.
So I guess, Dan, yeah, please message me on
his potential injuries.
message if you have something. Message me on X. Just send me a direct message. I put my X. I'll put it in the chat one more time. Just send me a direct message. You saying you can't message me? Why not though? It won't let you. Y'all, this is my X account.
I wasn't focused just solely on the president when the started happening. And, you know, it seemed from where I was sitting, the shots were opposite.
So I think CNN. I think CNN's take on it is maybe Trump fell and he got injured from the fall.
It was just one gunman or two gunmen, but clearly it was, you know, it was clearly.
So I don't know. I mean, honestly, it looks like he grabs his ear, and that's the same place where we see the blood. So, yeah, I would imagine.
Circling him, clearly their training kicking in.
Yeah, Dan, why don't you spell out your X account? I'll see if I can message you.
Him with their bodies. David, you described, you know, one of the.
See if I can message you
former
here.
President Trump in front of you, and then a person behind you who was hit. So these bullets could have been coming from any direction, or did you have any sense of where they were coming from? I know that you said that you weren't sure if they were.
See, if the person was on the roof,
Right. Well, it wasn't clear to me from where I was.
then they could have just.
Like the bullets probably came from across the other side of the crowd.
If they were on the roof
If they missed the president,
outside.
hit somebody behind me.
All right,
or, you know,
cool.
someone in my part of the
If they were on the roof outside of the security zone, they did get about 8 or 9, 7 to 10 shots off. But it seems like you can just, if you're outside the security zone, man, there's no people around you. You could just, you could shoot all your shots off. Yeah, Dwayne, I know. He didn't look like he fell. He was ducking. I agree with you on that.
You know, in moments of chaos like this, you know, you
All right, let me try.
jump conclusions, but
Let me see if I can find
I
you.
think they felt like they came to the
Dan.
president's lens from where I was sitting.
And David, you know, these events are loud, so.
Dan,
sounds
oh, it says no
through
results.
The crowd and all of the noise, everyone reacting quickly.
Dan, this gotta be this gotta be like the best information in history. Dan gonna have like the actual stuff.
With the victim that you saw,
see.
where did it appear that this person had been hit, and how severe were those injuries?
You know, it was really hard to tell. It was
Yeah, I can't find you, man. I don't know. I'm trying to search you.
And how, you know, how severe the wound.
You don't show up, so I guess that's just that.
Be unconscious, but even that's not
I guess that's that, man.
but it was obviously a lot of blood. So
Secret Service could have hurt him the way they covered him as possible. It's possible, but he did grab the exact same area where he's bleeding from, and there were bullets flying. So it seems like you got a bullet flying at you, you grab an area, you duck, you come up, you're bleeding from the area where you grabbed when a bullet flew at you. I mean, we don't know for sure, but it seems quite safe to. All right, y'all. I was gonna go, y'all, but let's stick around and watch Biden. Y'all want to stick around and watch Biden? If Biden comes on in the next 5 minutes, we'll wait and see what he says.
In the shooting at Trump's rally, we're still trying to learn more from those witnesses who were there about what exactly happened on stage in terms of a firearm being discharged. Did it hit?
Yeah, Jason, I agree. I think he was grazed.
Onto Trump, and then you see.
Oh yeah.
There's confusion about exactly what happened in terms of the injury for former President Trump. This is a major moment for President Biden. Not only the President of the United States, but comes just days before the Republican National Convention, and as President Biden is facing consternation in his party over his recent debate performance in Atlanta. The president is someone who has had his different.
Y'all, we're just waiting for Biden at this point.
Trump over the course of this campaign, but we are in a fragile national moment.
Damn, when I put that in, this is what it gives me. I go up here, I just do a search. Oh, there you go. Okay, bam, I got you. All right, let me follow you. I'm going to send you a message.
Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Here's the president.
I've been thoroughly briefed by all the agencies in the federal government as to the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to him shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have engaged in making sure that people we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to, if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. Everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I'm able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do, okay? I don't know enough to. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. Okay. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
That was President Biden addressing the nation after former President Trump was presumptively shot at a rally in Pennsylvania. Shots rang out at this rally. We are told the potential shooter is dead. Someone in the crowd is also dead. But what really stood out to me from this address was the president called former President Trump Donald. I'm trying to get a hold of Donald. I hope he is okay. All of the kind of political vernacular has kind of faded away. And
all right, y'all. So looks like that's gonna be where we stand for now. I did want to show this screenshot from Dan before we go, since we spent so much time trying to get it. It does definitely look like there's somebody up here. Man, I wish, Dan, if you had put, I mean, it's not your fault, right? But if there was some kind of identifying evidence here, I would be able to look for this. But I'm gonna sign off, y'all. So I do thank y'all for spending this historic moment with us. Please, again, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and we'll see how this thing unfolds. Everybody pray for Donald Trump, y'all. Let's be good people here, right? And the victims' families, particularly the person who lost, I guess, his life today. Somebody lost their life aside from the shooter, so let's keep them in our prayers. Thank y'all.